So I did not think that there would be a huge amount of interest in doing what I had proposed kind of in my dream dress video of just going over older AP pieces and showing them more up close. However, I was very pleasantly surprised with the reception that that idea had, so I figured, why not? I really want to talk about these pieces. I do really think that they deserve more in-depth viewing than their stock photos allow for us to have, so this will be the next installment of that. So I'm already wearing the dress that I'm going to be talking about today, and that is Angelic Pretty's Dollhouse OP. Of course, I'm going to do some detail shots after my little spiel here, but before I did that, I really did want to talk just a little bit about it, just to give you a little bit of an intro before we go straight into the detail shots. So this dress was released in 2006. This dress is a really special dress. It's an Imai collaboration print, and it's done on one of the most gorgeous fabrics that I've ever seen in an AP dress. So it's a screen print dress and it's done on a lame tweed. So it actually has some sparkly bits woven into the fabric itself. It's not getting its sparkle from any kind of glitter that's done on top of the fabric. It's actually fully incorporated into the structure of the fabric itself. So unless you rip it, that sparkle is not going anywhere. Unfortunately, I cannot capture this on camera. I do not know why. I guess it's probably just the artificial lighting in here doesn't want to show it, or my camera just will not pick it up, because in real life it's incredibly sparkly. This dress was not just an OP, it was also released as a JSK. The JSK also came with the same removable collar that the OP came with. Aside from the actual fabric being a large portion wool, and definitely looking like a heavy winter dress, you can also definitely tell that it was intended to be a winter dress or a cold weather dress because of that detachable collar. As you can see right here. And then of course the print of it is, as I said before, screen printed, so unfortunately my dress is not in the best condition in regards to its screen print because it is so old. And taking care of screen prints is something that, while ideally would be easy, can sometimes be much more difficult depending on the backing fabric that it has. It can start to rub off or start to show through. And that's definitely the case with this piece that I have, but it's not in horrendous condition. There's nothing that's totally missing or that's totally wiped away. You can just see the texture of the fabric starting to poke through here and there. Honestly, for me, I do not mind it. I didn't pay an arm and a leg for this, but I think that for the price that I got it at, it's entirely appropriate to have this kind of amount of damage to it, and I don't personally mind it. But please keep that in mind when I actually show the detail shots of this, that if this were in pristine condition, like I'm sure there are some versions, some pieces of this piece out there in absolutely pristine condition, that this would not be the original way that it was sold. So without further ado, we're gonna do some detail shots of the dress itself along with the removable collar because it was sold as a set, and then also the different details when it's actually being worn as a cord. So here's just a top to bottom of the actual dress just being hung on a hanger. This is the actual screen print, so you can kind of see what I mean about the texture of the fabric starting to show through in some areas. I think that in some pieces this is not the case with even older screen prints, just because the fabric isn't as textured behind it. But in addition to that, this dress itself has some really weird laundry instructions. It says to only dry clean it, but when you dry clean screen prints, they have a tendency to melt off, so... Anyway, I suspect that that might be one of the reasons why the print is a little bit in rough shape. Now, I know that I said at the beginning that I actually wasn't able to capture any of the sparkle in the fabric, but if you look at the areas that are unfocused, sometimes you will see a little bit of a twinkle here and there, so keep an eye out for that as well as I keep going over this. And I know that this shot's almost done, but also look at all those tiny little bows. Now, the waist bow is actually all velveteen, so you have a lot of different textures on this dress. You can see that the anchor here is actually coming off a little bit there, so I have to repair that, but here it's still in good condition. Here's the dress with the collar just hung over it. You can see that at the ends of it there are those little pom-poms out of that fake fur. And then the ribbon here is also velveteen, so it kind of matches the waist bow. And then the inside is all lined. Now, something that I also really love about this is just this tiny little velveteen detail bow at the top with the little pearl, and then there's more of that lace that's the same stuff that's around the hem. I love the way that it's actually anchored onto the bodice by top stitching on the sides of the front bodice panel. I think that that's a really beautiful way to make sure it stays in that little ruffle. And then around the sleeves here, you can see there's that shirring elastic, so it can stay nice along your arm, and the same with around the neckline. And there's more lace around that as well. Then the way you actually get into this is with a side zipper that is located right underneath the arm. And then on the other side is a pocket. So here's the back at the bottom of the dress, then going up you can see the actual lacing ribbon that's used in the back with the shirring. So instead of having loops here, there's just that kind of looped lace that AP sometimes uses for the ribbon at the back. One issue with this that I found is that at the end of this ribbon there are pom-poms, so I don't really know how you're supposed to get the lacing out of there if you ever want to wash it without the ribbon, but oh well. Here are just some more little detail shots of the velveteen ribbon also along the hem and the print. So this is the inside of the dress, and it's just gorgeous in the way that it's constructed. You can see here that this is the zipper on the side, and then if we go over to the other side, you can see the pocket bag. Now, this is one of my favorite things with this dress, the way that there's facings on the inside of it. Like, I don't think that you would ever be able to see this if you were wearing it, but they did it anyways, and that's just amazing to me to put that kind of detail and effort into the inside of the dress. It's just gorgeous. And then we have the built-in petty like most older AP pieces have. Here's the back inside of the dress. Again, there's that facing, and the shirring is all anchored in there nicely. I just love this dress. The inside is just so beautiful, and of course the old AP tag right there. So this is one of the cords that I've done with this. This is the most recent one that I did, actually right before I was about to go and run some errands. You'll notice that I'm not actually wearing the fur collar because it's nearing the end of May, and I think that this was probably the last time I would be able to wear this dress without feeling like I was totally overheating. Here's some more detail shots of the individual pieces used in the cord. You'll notice that something that I tried to do is I tried to cord it mostly with black and then another tone of pink that's actually in the print. Something that I actually love about the fabric, aside from it being this like beautiful sparkly heavy wool tweed, is that it has all of these different flecks of color. There's like flecks of gray and white and pink and black in it, so I figured that cording it with those individual colors would also be really pretty. Another fun fact about this dress actually is that the dress that the girl in the print is wearing is another AP dress. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's a beautiful dress. It's another one of those ones that I really hope to be able to find someday. So thank you so much for your support in this different series, I guess, on going over older pieces in more detail than the stock photos really allow you to see. I know that when I'm thinking of purchasing a new piece or starting to really go on the hunt for a new piece, I really like to see it being worn by someone, or at least see more details of it up close because of how unfortunate all of the old stock photos are. So I really hope that this is helpful in that regard. And then of course, I also at the end of this just need to say thank you again for your support and for subscribing to this channel. Honestly, I can't believe that my subscriber count has almost doubled in like the last week. That's insane to me. So I'm really glad that you all seem to be enjoying this content, and I definitely am going to keep doing it because aside from it being something that I find to be enjoyable, it also makes me feel really happy that I'm making things that other people seem to enjoy. So thank you so much for that. I think that the next one that I will go over is Mode Girl. It is also 15 years old, I believe. So I think that that will be a good next one to follow this up with. So past that, I think that what I'll probably start doing is I'll probably start going over the majority of the rest of my wardrobe because a lot of it is from prior to 2010. Older stock photos are really quite unfortunate, so I would really like to just start doing that for the majority, if not all of the pieces that I have. I think that it would be fun and also a nice way to be able to show these pieces to people that might be thinking of purchasing them themselves or starting to look for them. So anyways, thank you all so much again, and I look forward to seeing you soon. If you are interested in this content, if you are not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. Please check out the rest of my social media. I try and post actual full coordinates on my Instagram. I do short form content on TikTok. Just check it out if you're interested. And thank you so much again. Bye!